Dark screen. The faint sound of wind and footsteps echo. The journey is not over. A shadow appears, walking slowly on a narrow path. The light flickers, almost like a candle in the darkness. A soft heartbeat sound rises in the background. The screen is almost empty, only the sound of footsteps on dry ground. The camera shows the earth cracking, the dust lifting with every step. Then from the darkness, a figure begins to appear. The audience cannot see his face, only the glow of his outline. This is not just a man walking. It is the symbol of a path that has carried burdens, hopes, and miracles. A voice rises in the silence. The journey is not over. The words echo like a whisper from eternity. They carry weight, pulling the viewer into the moment. Quick flashes break the silence. Images of storms raging, boats rocking in violent waves, hands reaching for help. A flash of a blind man opening his eyes, his face filled with wonder. A crowd gasping as loaves and fish multiply before them. These are not just memories. They are signs of a greater story unfolding. The music builds slowly, strings stretching out, soft at first, like the calm before a storm. Over these images, the voice continues. They walked with him through trials. They saw his power in the impossible. Yet the hardest test is still to come. The light flickers again, showing faces. Disciples with fear in their eyes, crowds pressed against each other, Roman soldiers in armor, and whispers of leaders plotting in secret. The mood grows heavier, the silence replaced by tension. The camera cuts back to the glowing figure. He pauses. His steps are slower now but steady. His presence is calm in the middle of rising chaos. The sound fades to a heartbeat again, louder this time, pulling the audience in closer. The screen fades to black. A single line of text appears. When kingdoms collide, only truth will remain. The heartbeat stops. Silence. The screen bursts into life with a rush of sound. Waves crashing, shouts carried by the wind. The sudden clash of voices in a crowded street. Quick flashes of memory cut through the darkness like lightning. The disciples are there, their faces marked with both hope and fear. Peter's voice echoes, faint but strong. We left everything to follow you. His words float over images of fishermen dropping their nets, families watching from the shore, uncertain yet compelled. The music swells, not fast but heavy, like the weight of destiny pressing down. A torch lights up in the night. Soldiers march in the distance. Whispers rise. Pharisees gathered in shadows, their eyes sharp with suspicion. Their silence feels louder than the noise of the crowd. Cut to the disciples, scattered in different places. Some kneeling in prayer, some arguing, some staring at the ground with doubt in their eyes. Their faith has carried them far, but every step seems harder now. The world is closing in around them. A storm rolls in over the sea. A boat rocks violently as water crashes against it. Lightning cuts across the sky, and in that flash, a memory. A man walking on the water, calm against the storm, his hand reaching out. A single word spoken in power. Do not be afraid. The heartbeat sound returns, slower this time, but deeper. Each thump echoes with the tension of choice, of sacrifice, of danger drawing closer. A child's laughter cuts through for a brief moment, then silence again. The contrast is sharp, unsettling. The screen shows faces of those healed. The blind who see, the lame who walk, the broken who stand tall. These memories shine like sparks in the night, but they are fading fast under the weight of what lies ahead. The narrator's voice returns softer, but filled with warning. They have seen the impossible. They have walked through fire, yet the road ahead will test not only their faith, but their very lives. The music grows heavier, pounding now like war drums. Quick flashes, chains, fire, shadows moving in narrow streets, soldiers tightening their grip. The disciples staring at one another, each searching for courage they are not sure they have. The screen fades again, a whisper almost lost in the sound. Will they stand, or will they fall? Black screen. Silence. The silence breaks with the sound of iron striking stone. Chains clatter, Heavy footsteps echo down narrow streets. Torches flare in the darkness, lighting faces of soldiers whose eyes are cold and unyielding. The camera lingers on their armor, unforgiving, polished, reflecting fire. The scene shifts to a dim room where religious leaders lean close together, whispering words that cannot be heard, but their intent is clear. Their faces are hidden by shadows, but their hands grip scrolls tightly. Their eyes glint with determination. Power trembles in the air, the kind that corrupts, the kind that fears the truth. The music turns sharp, each note like the strike of a blade. In the crowd, whispers spread like wildfire. Some voices are filled with awe, others with anger. A woman's cry pierces through. Is he the one? The question hangs heavy, unanswered, stirring unrest. Cut to the disciples. Their faces are divided. Some burn with courage, others with doubt. Andrew's fists clench. John's eyes are wide. Matthew trembles as he tries to steady his breath. Their faith binds them, but fear gnaws at the edges. A door slams. Roman soldiers storm into a home, searching, their swords scraping against wood. The people inside scatter, clutching children, trying to hide. The sound of boots and armor dominates everything. A soldier shouts, "Where is he?" The words thunder like judgment. The screen flashes. Jesus, calm, seated among the people. His voice is steady, almost a whisper against the storm. The truth cannot be hidden. His words clash against the noise of the world, soft yet unshakable. The narrator returns, low and resonant. The empire tightens its grip. The leaders plot in silence. And those who once followed with joy now walk a path paved with fear. The camera cuts rapidly. Torches raised, crowds pushing against one another, scrolls unrolling, soldiers shouting orders, disciples glancing over their shoulders. The music swells higher, building tension with every beat. A child's toy falls to the ground, trampled under boots, a symbol of innocence crushed by power. The image lingers, harsh and haunting. The screen darkens again. A final whisper emerges from the silence. When kingdoms collide, only one will endure. The sound of drums fades into silence. The noise of the crowd fades. The torches dim. For the first time, silence fills the screen. Still heavy, almost suffocating. The camera draws close, not to show faces in full, but glimpses. The curve of trembling hands, the glisten of tears on cheeks, the clenched jaw of someone trying not to break. Jesus' voice cuts through the silence, gentle yet unshakable. Do not be troubled. Have faith. His words float like a lifeline, but the disciples' eyes tell another story. Doubt, fear, and sorrow war within them. Mary's silhouette is seen in the candlelight, her shoulders shaking, her hands pressed to her face. Her cry is silent, but the pain is louder than any sound. Beside her, Peter's hand grips the edge of a table until his knuckles turn white. His chest rises and falls with anger he cannot contain. For every miracle he has seen, every promise he believes, a shadow still haunts him. Fear of loss, fear of failure. The music softens, strings, tender and haunting. The beat of a drum fades to something like a heartbeat. Every thump echoes the weight pressing on each soul. The screen flickers, visions of moments past. The lame man rising to walk, children running free with laughter, a widow smiling through tears of healing. Light, hope, joy. But the images crack and shatter like glass, replaced by soldiers marching, doors breaking, whispers of betrayal. The narrator returns, low and sorrowful. Faith is not found in comfort. Faith is forged in fire. The camera lingers on Matthew sitting alone, his scrolls spread before him, his head buried in his hands. He once found purpose in numbers, but now his mind drowns in questions too heavy to count. Across from him, John watches the shadows on the wall, as if every flicker could be the sign of danger drawing near. A sudden close-up, Jesus' hand reaching out, palm open. No force, no demand, only invitation. His voice, soft but steady. Come to me. The music swells slightly, still restrained, filled with ache and beauty. The disciples lift their heads, Their eyes remain uncertain, but there is a spark, fragile, trembling, yet alive. The screen fades to black. A final whisper fills the silence. Love will ask for everything, and give even more. The music fades, leaving only the echo of a heartbeat. The silence shatters like glass. A single drumbeat thunders, then another, faster, harder. The screen erupts in flashes. A whip cracks in the air, chains snap tight around wrists. Dust storms rise as soldiers march in unison. The tension that has been building now bursts into chaos. The disciples are shown in fragments, faces blurred by firelight, sweat on their brows, fear etched deep, but still standing. Peter shouts, though the words are lost under the roar of the crowd. Andrew pushes through bodies, searching, desperate. Mary's hands reach out in prayer, trembling but firm. Every shot is quick, jagged, relentless. The music climbs higher, strings racing, drums pounding, voices of a distant choir breaking through like cries from heaven. Every sound screams urgency. A child's scream echoes, swallowed by the clash of metal on stone. Soldiers raise swords, their blades glinting under torchlight. The people scatter, shadows running in every direction. The camera swings wildly, one moment showing miracles, the next showing violence. Bread breaking in hands, then chains locking shut. Water rushing in waves, then torches flaring. Hope and danger colliding over and over, faster and faster. Then, Jesus, calm in the storm. His eyes lift, steady and unshaken. His voice soft but cutting through the chaos. The truth will set you free. The words hang for only a heartbeat before the chaos erupts again. The screen shakes with motion. Disciples clashing with their fear, soldiers closing in, crowds shouting in anger and confusion. Fire spreads across the night sky, smoke swallowing the stars. The narrator returns, this time fierce, urgent. The world is breaking. The chosen must rise. The pace is now relentless. Chains snapping, fists pounding, torches crashing to the ground, sandals running across dirt, scrolls burning in fire. The choir rises louder, every voice layered with desperation and hope. Suddenly, silence, a single breath. The camera zooms close, Jesus' hand raised, open. His voice whispers one word, believe. The screen cuts to black. Then, a final clash of sound, drums, strings, and voices colliding in one last burst before silence takes everything again. The screen is swallowed in black. For a heartbeat, there is nothing. Then, slowly, a single flame flickers to life. Small, fragile, alone. The flame dances, struggling against the dark, but it does not die. A whisper echoes through the silence, soft and steady. This is only the beginning. The flame grows brighter, and with it, images flicker across the screen. Disciples standing in defiance, soldiers closing in, miracles shining like stars, tears falling in silence. Each flash is faster, sharper, like lightning tearing through the night. The music returns, low at first, then climbing with power, strings and drums weaving together into something unstoppable. Suddenly, the flame bursts into a blaze, filling the screen with golden fire. From the fire, bold letters emerge, glowing against the darkness. The Chosen, Season 6. The letters burn brighter, almost too bright to look at. A loud, thunderous sound rolls across the screen, like the heavens themselves breaking open. For a moment, silence. Then, Jesus' voice cuts through, calm and resolute. Episode 1 begins. The music surges once more, this time with full force. Choirs rising, drums pounding, strings racing. The screen floods with final flashes. Hands raised in prayer, chains breaking, crowds shouting, a soldier's sword striking. Jesus standing still amidst the storm. Then everything stops. A single line of white text appears against the black screen. Coming soon, the heartbeat returns. One slow, heavy beat. Then another, louder, closer. The sound fades into silence. The trailer ends not with an answer, but with a question that lingers in the audience's mind. Will they believe? The screen fades to black, and with it, all sound is gone. Darkness stretches across the screen, vast and endless. For a few breaths, there is nothing. No music, no sound, only silence. Then faintly the sound of footsteps returns. Slow, steady. Each step echoes like eternity pressing closer. A faint light breaks the darkness. Not fire, not torchlight, but something softer. It spills across the ground, stretching like dawn chasing away the night. The camera follows the glow but never reveals its source. Instead, it catches glimpses, dust lifting, a cloak brushing the earth, the outline of a hand reaching outward. The voice of the narrator returns, softer than ever, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. The world waits in fear, but light is coming. The music stirs again, not the pounding of drums or the cry of choirs, but a single haunting note. A violin stretches long and slow, fragile but filled with promise. Underneath, a heartbeat begins, steady, alive, unyielding. Images flicker once more, not violent, not chaotic, but still sharp. A mother clutching her child, whispering comfort. A disciple standing alone, staring at the horizon. A hand touching broken stone, and life returning to it. The final image lingers, Jesus' shadow stretching across the ground. The camera never shows his face, only his steps moving forward, stronger, unshaken. His voice breaks the silence, clear and certain. Follow me. The words hang in the air like a call that cannot be ignored. The music rises one last time, brighter now, layered with hope. Light floods the screen, overwhelming the darkness. Then, in bold white letters, a final message fades into view.